Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very fine example of the traditional cup of tea, the good old-fashioned cuppa. So welcome back to Prison Architect, where previously it was a bit eventful, and that was mainly because of, well, my blunder, as it normally is. I cloned this cell block here over to here, and that meant that several hundred items had to be brought in on a truck that can only take, well, 10 at a time. And that meant a huge backlog and no food being brought in. That led to food riots and all the problems that are, well, baggaged with that. We have recovered from it. Not financially, but we have recovered from it. And, well, we're on track to basically finish this thing off. And let's see how we get on. Over to our, where is it? Utilities, wiring, connections. And we'll go for the CCTV. And we're going to go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it does actually read out 8 there as well, which is exactly what I want. Electrical, I will have to connect up here as well. I believe I set up the prison labour, which we have. This is all staff only because this should now be medium sec. Like this. And I don't mind moving people over for now. So I'm going to get it done now. I'm going to get it done as I'm improving the grading. And I'll be basically do a rolling change for this goes to here. All these inmates go here. And then this is staff only, so this will be empty. And then I'll move the other inmates down and basically work on like that. So in each of the rooms for here, we need to increase the grading by at least a couple. But I want to see how high we can get the grading in here. So in terms of the footprint, we have 1, 2, 3 slots. So I don't think we can get to 15. Oh, that is 15. No, the person in there is entitled to 15. Okay. So we can get it to 11 easily. And then I need to increase it by, well, ideally 2. And looking at the list, because the same size, I'm not entirely convinced I can. So I can put a chair in. I can put a sink and a mirror. And I can put a punch bag in and canvas. Something like that. Okay. So some of it might just be placed in the middle of the room. So it might look a bit silly. But I'm not too bothered about that. It'll have to just sort of sit. So I think I'm going to go for... Is there anything I can remove for a start? No. Canvas and paints, punch bag, and a chair would be the obvious one. Chair because it will probably sit in fine in the middle. And then they can actually sit on that and watch the TV. Yes, it is in the way a little bit, and it might look a bit silly. But it will function perfectly fine. Cells-wise, I can put in all manner of things. Canvas and prints can go in there. Which would look quite good if it was orientated the other way. Actually, I might put that in there. Like that. Canvas and prints, so they can actually sit at the desk and do it. And that'll increase this to grade 13. Then I have one more slot, which I could put like a punch bag in the middle there, so they have to go around it. And that would work out. It's far from ideal, but I was going to say I'm working within the limitations, but the limitations I sort of set myself by saying I'm not going to change the size of it. So yeah. But there's that. Have we moved people around? Also fortuitous that we found the tunnel in the area that we've completely cleared now, because this now is staff only. People should have been moved, which they have been. So now this will go to medium sec. So none of the work that I've done is for naught, because all it's doing now is it is shifting the grading upwards. So inmates moving from here to here automatically get an upgrade because they've got better cells as standard. What I expect to see, hopefully, is the highest risk of inmates have a better motivation, a stronger motivation to go to a lower grading because of the sequential nature of it. Sorry, that should be medium sec, like that. And also, that should be minimum sec. Yeah, there we go. And it looks like people have been shifted over, which is fine. And then this goes to max sec, which I still think this in here, the family cells, is pointless. And then this goes to super max. And all of the work that we have spent this entire series has basically been ready to do that. Okay. So the obvious intake is going to be super max. I expect I'll need some more inmates on this one. Some more guards, should I say. So let me check out the grading. Room quality's at 14. That'll do me. That's fine. I want to increase the grading. In the canteen. So I'll put some fans in. Also for a canteen, a snack machine will improve the quality. Now the problem with a snack machine is that it provides a lot of contraband. But there's already enough of that going around anyway. If I was to put in a snack machine as well, in here, that would increase the grade of this. Then that should be fine. Oh, also, bleachers. Dismantle that, remove the bleachers. Because the room quality is such that if we have a tire apparatus... Oh, actually, I don't think it can have a tire apparatus. Tire apparatus. Yeah, it can only go outside. That's why there's a problem. Right, well, that's getting covered over. I was going to smash the roof out, but no, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. Right, so sadly, there's going to be a few upset people because now that we've finished the construction, it is sort of seasonal. It's not seasonal, but it is. Well, I can stop guard taser and I can stop all the training because, well, all of our staff here, I can get rid of most of the staff because we don't need 26 workers. I need 6 at most. So it is going to come down to people that are higher trained. So anyone with training in both first aid and fire will stay. And then after that, it's, I guess, last in, first out. So I'll take us down to 8. That's a huge change in our staffing and our rota there. So there we are. Okay. Just remove some tunnels, which is all good. We now need to sort out our programs. So I want to run... Let's see. I'm not going to have... Because I think we do need to change this. I'm not going to have any kitchen safety and hygiene in the high risk. Or do I? I'll keep it on, but I won't do the training. I'll see how we get on with that. The rest of it's fine. Parole hearing will have to start 4. We might be able to get 5? No. The rest of it's good. Right, what I'm going to do is reschedule all and then edit schedule. And let's look at this one. So immediately it's got it wrong. So the Supermax, we don't want anyone getting trained in Supermax. So kitchen, max sec, kitchen safety and hygiene, medium sec, and minimum sec. That's good. Classroom, Supermax. We want... Right. Classroom, we want a foundation education program. And the general. Oh, there's a conflict. Oh, sorry, that's staff only, that's why. So we have max, medium, and minimum sec for foundation and general education. That's good. Let's bring this down. Alcoholics group therapy for both the max, medium, and min. Parole hearing is just all across the board. The chapel is max, medium, and minimum. So the game's actually done a fairly decent job at doing all of that, which is fine. That's exactly what we want. And we've just altered it based on what we need. Now, it's going to take a little while for any of these to alter. I'm seeing that we can approve one person from high risk to go to medium. And we haven't got any Supermax inmates just yet, but I'm hoping the transition will be okay there. What is concerning is that there are no inmates in medium security that are wanting to go to law. That is a concern. One does qualify, though. So no prisoners are wanting to transfer to minimum sec. Why is that? Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right. There's ex-law enforcement, prisoner Moss. A couple of extremelies across the board there. Did I say remove tunnels? I think I did say remove tunnels, but don't know if the game's done it or not. That's also not enclosed. Is it not? That looks enclosed to me. Maybe they just haven't removed the tunnel. Surrounded by walls and doors. How curious. Okay. There's all of your... Yeah. There's all of the categories in there. Oh, that's concerning. Okay. Well, I'm looking here that we've got... It's not max, medium... Max... Supermax and all that. It's in the wrong order. So, Supermax, admittedly, I'm not too concerned at this stage because the inmates have just turned up. So, they haven't went into the system for the transfers. Minimum sec. There is... Yeah. There is... Well, the inmates are there. That's fine. It's just the minimum security not going down to law. It's not... The motivation to qualify is not there. So I'm trying to think what can I alter. And I'm thinking we're gonna have to go through the categories properly, aren't we? I'll do that in a moment. But I think I'll wait for people to settle in before I really focus on it too much. I do want to go to prisoner Moss here and change them to protective custody. There we go. Okay. Minimum security limit's 15. Minimum capacity is 24. Medium is 1 less because of this broken cell. I'll come back to that in a moment. Maximum is 32. And Supermax is 32 as well. Yeah. Okay. Why is this cell broke then? Just going to designate a cell, remove it, then redesignate it. Enclosed. It's got a toilet, it's got a sink, it's got... What what is wrong with it? I don't understand why that's like it is. I'm just going to say remove and remove tunnels. It feels like there's like a tunnel or something that's not there. I think they've just removed something. I think I might have just been waiting for that, actually. And I think I've just been in a bit of a rush. I think that's what it is. Because a guard came in, sorry, a worker came in there and did something. I think it was just that enclosed bit. There's another tunnel. There you go. Okay. So I'm just going to fix this first, and then I'm going to go back over, like, say, to the grading side of it, because that's what that's essentially what we're focusing on in this series. At least we're trying to. I may have also fired too many workers, because it's taken an age to do anything. I took into account the work available, but not the travel time. I am actually going to hire a couple more workers. Because I've told them to do this, and they just haven't done it. If we go to jobs, it's loads of laundry basket stuff. And move laundry, it's laundry. Which I wouldn't have thought that, actually. And this is now set, yeah. Okay, I'm going to get back. I'm double the amount of workers we have. It's still toilet and sink. It is queued up though, and it does say enclosed. So I think that's fixed now, which it is. Good, okay. Right. If we check the deployment, protective, minimum, medium, maximum, supermax. If we check grading, I can see that the highest grade, naturally, is in the cells in the protective custody. Not that that's a concern if it wasn't. You still have to meet the needs for the protective custody inmates, but you don't have to meet any grading requirements because they'll never transfer out of that. Because that is their transfer. They're transferred to protective custody and they stay there. For the low risk, we got 14 grade on the cells. We got 8 grade on the canteen. Classroom hasn't changed. The common room has gone up by 1. The yard hasn't changed. For the medium risk inmates, we are on cell quality 11 with a canteen of 2, which surprises me. But it's because of the type of food that we're serving. No windows is -1 apparently. And the yard is the same. It's grade 5. For the... which I might change that. If I remove the bleachers, that'll alter the grading again. And I'm trying to... I think the problem is inmates going down from medium to low. If I try and fix that, then it might work better. But I don't think a slight grading in the yard is going to do it. To be honest, but whatever. Well, I'll do what I can. Back over to grading. So we've got, yes, grade 11 in the cells. We then go to grade 7 for the high-risk inmates, which is still pretty good. Obviously, food is not as good. It's low meal variety. And then the common room is worse. And then finally, you've got your Supermax inmates, which still have a grade 5. So it's far off the basic that you need. They have a large outdoor window and a shower head in there. So more than they are certainly entitled to have. And then grading 0 for the rest of it. Because of course it is. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I might even alter more in here as well, like remove some of the punch bags, because that'll really reduce it down. Okay. But let's just see then our policy, actually, which is fine. So policy is now fine across the board. I am going to match with maximum, then don't change their sec status, but we still get solitary in there, which we didn't have previously. Nutritional policy is all set. The default has been set for parole cutoffs and such, so I don't need to touch that. Programs wise, we've already talked about that one. I can go with a bit more first aid, so I'll run that. And the one I don't really want to see, yeah, that's bad. Okay, not as bad as I thought. So, going from Supermax down over, we have 6 inmates. 19% of the Supermax inmates are wanting to go to max sex, so one category down. The best improvement is the 10 inmates. 32% of the inmates for high risk want to go to medium risk. Then the problem is that, sadly, yeah, going from medium to low, no inmates are bothered about qualifying. None of them. They're not even bothered about it. Motivated to qualify. So what does that mean for us? How can I possibly... What can I do to improve that? Because I'm not too sure what I can do. I think... Have I met too many needs early on? Especially a lot of the extras. And it would have been better to remove some? Is it better to remove some? Because the grading is there. Certainly the grading is changed. I mean, I'm tempted to say... remove the pet birds. And the reason for that is because the pet birds are... And obviously your opinion may differ. I think it's one of the best items you can place in a cell. Because it's only 150 generic units of currency. It improves the grade of the cell. That in and of itself is okay, but it also caters for a family and luxury need. Again, if it was just one of them, I would happily place it down for the amount of money. I'd pay double. But it meets both. And meeting a luxury need as a passive item... Because the other way is, you get it from here. You get your luxuries from the shop. So removing all of the pet birds means that they may want more luxuries. Luxuries, the only way is to get it from the shop, or to go to the lower risk, which have a pet bird as a passive. I don't think the game is going to calculate that. Truth be told, I'm not seeing it at all. I'm really not seeing it. I could start removing some training. But then that affects, yeah, other ways as well. Prisoners to meet in order for them to be transferred to a lower and more comfortable security sector. The Supermax and the Maximum security are definitely up for it. Medium security, they're not too bothered. And you see the criteria is a lot harsher as well. For the other inmates. 34% of the inmates high risk want to transfer. So it's the motivation that's just not there. I'm not too sure what I can do about that. Other than start ripping things out, but then again... What would I do on that? Could remove the classroom grading. Let's... The problem is that the classroom grading is always really good if you build it, in my opinion, as one of the minimum sizes. As in, you want it enough to fit in, say, 20 desks. Oh, well, if you get over 10 desks, it's job done. You get... Well, you get +3 grading from 6 skill desks and 10 skill desks in total. Room size at least 50 squares. Well, you need that not to fit everything in anywhere. So the only thing I can do is remove things like the blackboard and things like that. Yeah. Blackboard and bookshelf. Shifting those would mean that this is a higher grade. And again, I don't think that little nudge would help out. I don't think it would. Yeah. No motivation qualify. That's now 43%. Transfers are good then. And there's still loads of cells available. Yeah, it's just that. No prisoners want to be transferred to Min Sec. Gut feeling is that I've just overdone it in terms of the grading for things, and there's enough. The grading is such that it's an acceptable level of grading, and there's enough stuff going on, like programs, for the inmates to go, you know what, I don't need to go anything more than min. to medium from medium. Or it could be that these guys need to transfer over. Well, I'll know soon enough, because in the next couple of days, I have a feeling that several inmates are going to move from maximum security to medium. I'll wait for that to happen. Oh, it's toggling. I'll wait for that to happen, because if, say, 3 inmates move over and then immediately 3 inmates are motivated to qualify, we know it's a throughput thing. So inmates have come in at high risk and then working their way down, rather than coming in at, say, medium already and just sort of sticking with it and going, I'm fine here, thanks. So yeah, we need 5 in-game days. Also need programs passed. If I was to, say, reduce this down, because I did say before, reduce it down to, say, 7. 6 out of 7. I think that would be better. Review the transfers. So Gall and Baker, I will approve all the I will approve the transfer. And now 1 prisoner is transferred to minimum sec. So Baker's now moved down all the way. So Baker's actually went from max sec to minimum sec in one go. But what's evident there as well is we have 10 inmates wanting to transfer to medium sec, but in medium from max sec to medium sec. For medium sec, no one's bothered. They are not bothered at all. I could remove visitation from all but low risk. In the transfer, no one's motivated to qualify. So I think it's calculated based on grading. Use the options below to determine the criteria for medium security prisoners to meet to be transferred to minimum security. Use the policy criteria column to make it a challenge for inmates to qualify. Other options. Not all prisoners are interested in transferring, especially those who have short sentences, planning on tunneling out, or simply do not think the conditions of comfort in the security sector below theirs are much better. Could be that, and that's what I think it is. It's all saying about quality. So I think it could be... What's going on here? Extremely volatile. And tunnels. I don't think it's a case of tunnels. And I don't think it's a case of the policy that we had there. Yeah. I think it might be the... There's definitely a tunnel, isn't there? Yeah. I think it might be the grading. The quality is good here. I think I'm going to have to reduce the quality of the grading. But it's between the medium and the maximum. Sorry, the medium and the minimum. But obviously, affecting one affects the others. Because if I drop medium down too much, it then goes beyond or about the same as the high risk in which high risk won't want to transfer over. So why is the 8 wanting to go, whereas none from here? I'm not sure on that one. I'm going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit of Prison Architect. I was just going to call it there for this episode, and indeed call it there for the series, really. And I'm still not 100% sure on whether it's worth running through and adding in and making a lot of changes to the cell design. I'm going to leave it up to yourself on that one. This will very much come down to the demand for it. If there is a huge demand... Look at the tunnels there. That is a big tunnel. Wow. Okay. It's going to come down to demand. Because apart from start ripping things out of... Are you fighting again? Unknown reputation. That could be... That could indeed be a snitch or ex-law enforcement. I do have security on the way. Dog-cat dogs are coming in. But we're attacking Madison there for a second. Yeah, like I say, it's going to come down to demand. If there's a huge demand to check this out, and indeed if there is a good couple of suggestions as to why we think this is the case, then I'm happy to look back and try those things out. In the end game, we wanted protective custody all the way up to Supermax, and we have got just that. And people do move down the different categories. If I was to do this again, on reflection, I would probably have to maybe build them more customizable. So this was just the footprint and then clone, and then adding more amenities, which is exactly what we did. I just think we might have started off a bit too high on it. I'm not saying turn these cells into slums and these ones into luxury apartments. That's not what I'm saying. But there was, yeah, there's some other stuff like classrooms and canteen, chapels and stuff, which we just don't need, and we don't need all of the work available and stuff. But then again, that's not what it says under transfer. Transfer just says about the quality of things. So yeah, I am happy to leave it there as it is for now. However, if there is enough demand and enough suggestions as to maybe what we can do to fix this, I'm happy to do another episode and fix this or try things out. But we will see how things go. Let's see, all depends on demand this one. If nothing else, I might do a bit of an escape, or we'll do a follow-up one trying to get this fixed. If nothing else so far, I have enjoyed it, and hope you have too. Let me know what you think in the comments, as I said, as regards to what we do here. And as always, we'll go from there. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. And generic partings.